Hey everyone, let me ask you something. How many of you have actually spent 4 hours just clicking through the AWS console just to set up VPC, subnet, route table, internet gateway, security group, etc. one by one, screen by screen, and then you do it again for staging, prod, and the dev environment. And then one day something break, and you have zero idea what changed because nothing is checked, and the guy who set it up has left the company. That's exactly the problem we are going to cover in this series. So let's get into it. So before IAC exists, this is how team actually work. And honestly, some team still work like this today. You log into AWS console, you click through 12 different screen to create a VPC. You write a 10-page documentation or wiki that says think like step 3, scroll down and click the thing that says something like subnet. And then 6 months later, something break. You try to recreate it from that document or the wiki page itself. It doesn't work and you are starting from scratch. No history, no audit trail, no way to prove what changed or when. Sound familiar? Because I have been there, and Terraform completely killed this problem. So next is, what is IAC? So what is IAC mean? It is infrastructure as code. Simple idea, instead of clicking through a console, you write a file. That file describes exactly what you want. A VPC, an EC2, an S3 bucket, and Terraform figure out how to create it. Look at the comparison, left side. The old way. You have to log into the console, click through different screen, create VPC manually, repeat for staging, repeat for prod, pray nothing break. So for IAC Terraform way, which is our right side, this is the Terraform way. 15 line of SQL code, run one command, done. And the big thing here, this file lives in Git. So every single infra changes in versioned, reviewed and auditable, just like your application code. That's shift in thinking, that's infrastructure as code. Reason for IAC change everything. Okay, so what does this actually matter? 3 reason, quick ones. Same code, same infra every time. You built your AWS setup once, run the same code, you get the exact same thing for staging, for prod, for dev, for whatever. No guessing, no missing a checkbox, no work on my machine for infrastructure. Second one is version control. So version control is your infra lives in Git. Every change has an author, a timestamp, a reason. Someone open port 22 to the world at 3 am. Git blame will tell you exactly who did it. Now something break, git revert, Terraform apply, you are back, just like rolling update. Third one is automation. No human clicking, your pipeline runs Terraform apply, infra ships automatically with your app, no tickets, no waiting, no bottleneck. We'll build exactly this in any pipeline. Okay, next is Terraform versus REST. So now you have already heard about the CloudFormation, Ansible, Pulumini, Terraform, other tool as well. So let's clear this up once for all. Ansible, great tool, but it is used for the provisioning. Ansible is for configuration server that already exists, installing packages, managing files, running a script. If you need to spin a VPC from scratch, Ansible is the wrong tool. So what is the language it uses? It uses the YAML. It works on the multi-cloud and you can configure over the server like on the Windows or the Linux server. Next is Pulumini. So Pulumini is an interesting tool. You write infra in Python or TypeScript, powerful but adds complexity and most teams don't need it. So last is CloudFormation. CloudFormation is a AWS native IAC tool. The problem, AWS only, and honestly the syntax is painful. You are writing JSON or YAML and it get verbose very fast. So you can provision the infra writing JSON and work only AWS only. Last one is our Terraform, which are going to discuss in the whole series. It is multi-cloud. Most important thing, it is using the HCL, which is HashiCorp language, and you can provision the infra and spin your infra. For the infra spin up or the provision the infra, you can use the Terraform. So let's go to the next slide. Next slide is how Terraform actually work. Alright, let's talk about what actually happen under the hood when you run Terraform. Because once you understand this flow, everything else click. You write your SQL code. So first into the main.tf. Then Terraform core means engine of the Terraform reads the file. It is the brain that figure out what needs to be created, modify or destroy. Then it talk to the provider plugins. The plugin is basically a wrapper around the cloud API. If you are working with AWS, there is an AWS provider. For GCP provider, and same for Kubernetes, Datadog, GitHub, Azure, etc. There are 3000 plus providers. You grab the one you need. The provider makes the API call to the cloud, like it is the cloud API. AWS get request, create the real resource, your VPC, your EC2, whatever you define. And then this is important. Everything Terraform created gets tracked in a state file called terraform.tf state. This file is Terraform memory. It knows exactly what it built, what the resource IDs are, and what current state of your infra is. Lose this file, and Terraform lose track of your infrastructure. We'll talk about remote state later in this series. That's how you handle this property in production. Next is concept you must know. First is provider. Core concept you must know. 3 concept you absolutely need to nail before we touch the terminal. First one is provider. These are the plugins that let Terraform talk to different platform. You declare which provider you want at the top of your config file. Sometime like provider AWS, region US East 1, which I have given into the example as well. Terraform download it during init and know how to talk to the AWS. Second one is resource. So resource are the actual thing you are creating, like an EC2, an S3 bucket, a VPC. Every resource has a type, like AWS S3 bucket, and a name that you can give. I have given the example that we have a resource AWS S3 bucket, then the name is demo and bucket name is my bucket. So you have to give the name of every resource. Third one is state. State means this is the Terraform track reality. After you apply Terraform, write everything into the state file. Next time you run the run plan, it compare your SCL against the state file and figure out what's changed. This is what make Terraform smart. It doesn't blindly recreate everything. It only change what need to be changed. Okay, next is the Terraform workflow. For command, this is entire Terraform workflow and you will use these every single day if you are a Terraform developer. First one is Terraform init. So Terraform init, what it do? It download the provider plugin. You declare and set up the backend. You run this once when you start a project and again whenever you add a new provider. Next one is Terraform plan. This is your dry run. Terraform read your code, read the state file, talk to the cloud and tell you exactly what it's going to create, modify or destroy. You see a plus sign, something being created. It is in the green as well. Tilde something means modify, minus something means destroy. Read this output like you had read a code review, because that's exactly what it is. Next is Terraform apply. This is when it actually talk to the cloud real API call. Real resource, it will show you the plan one more time and ask you to confirm. You type yes and it's start creating all the resources. Okay, last one is Terraform destroy. So Terraform destroy used for tear down everything cleanly. Super useful in dev environment. Never run this in prod without knowing exactly what you are doing. Pro tip, always run plan before apply. It's your safety net. Review the difference like a code review. Always you do. Alright, that's everything you need to understand about Terraform before you touch a single line of code. What is IAC, why Terraform, how it work under the hood, and the 4 commands you will use every day, single day. Init, plan, destroy, apply. In the next video, we are getting how to download and set up the Terraform in your machine. If this video was helpful, drop a like. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. GitHub link for all the code is in the description. See you in the next one. Thank you.